Hi everyone, this is Diane. I'm doing another episode of Let's Use It, I think is what I called it. And it's just supplies that I have that I don't think to use all the time. And I did one episode already, which was book illustrations. And the way I did it was I wrote down a list of all the stuff that I could think of at the moment, and I've got more to add to it. I just haven't done it yet. But I just put it on paper and then cut it into strips, and then I just pull one out. But I wanted to do it on camera. I thought it would be fun to do it on camera, but then I also wanted to have all my supplies ready. So I pulled it already, and it's wrapping paper. But I got an idea from one of my viewers, and it's an excellent idea, so I'll try to remember to do that this time, and that is to pull the next one at the end of this video, so I can be all prepared for the next video, and you will know what I will be working with next time. So today is wrapping paper. Before we get started, I just wanted to say hello and thank you to a couple of my regular viewers who often leave comments, and so I want to say hello to Peggy and Janet. I appreciate you guys. I know you watch faithfully because you leave comments faithfully, and it means a lot to me. So thank you, ladies. Now let's get right into it. I got 16 minutes into this video and had to stop it because I heard the rain and my car windows were down. But we need the rain, so I stopped the video, went out and rolled up my car windows, and now I don't hear the rain anymore. Oh well. So wrapping paper comes in many, many different types and styles. So this one is vintage, and it is a matte finish, they're my favorite ones, the matte ones, especially if they're vintage. It's kind of thin, so this would make a great background. This one is probably even older and even thinner, and I love this. It almost is like glassine, and it was used, it's got cellophane on it, but I just think it is so cool and vintage. So I think this would make great tags, wouldn't it? So it doesn't look like I have a lot. This is my entire stash. I'm going to show you a project that I did with this one, this embossed paper. But once I start going through it, I'm surprised at how many options I have. This one is a paper tablecloth, but I put it in here, and it obviously has pieces I can cut out. So some of them are background, some are matte, some are glossy, some are thin, some are thicker. This is almost like a glossy tissue paper. Did I say some are vintage and some are newer? None of them were bought new. But there's a nice railroad themed one. Vintage. The Kate Greenaway is a shiny one. There's also a Mary Cassatt one in here, both artists. And these are from Dover Publications. So these are thick paper. These would be great to just use as a page in a journal, but also you can punch those circles out or cut those squares out and make things with them. Oh, there's another one. I have more of this one. This is like one of my very favorites. I have more of it than I thought. So anyway, there are background pieces to use for background and pieces that you could actually cut images out and use them. So I'm just going to set all of these aside because you get the idea. Whatever wallpaper or wrapping paper you might have in your stash, you can look at them and see what comes to mind, and then use your imagination and think of some more things to do. I used this one in the Little Women journals, just folded that and made a booklet out of it. There's the Mary Cassatt paper that I could cut into squares. Well, let's set these aside and talk about these. I got some work done on some of this. So this is that chest paper that is kind of like tissue paper, and I could actually just cut one of these out and just glue it onto a page as an embellishment, just like that. Or I could glue them to cardstock and cut them out and make little dangly things with them. That would be fun. I did glue this to a piece of cardstock, and I'll show you what I did with that. This one has pieces that I could definitely cut out, and these children. Okay, now we're down to things that I got started on. Whoops, now we are. I used file folders and cardstock, like full sheets of cardstock, but you could do scrap pieces. I just wanted to do like a whole bunch at once. So I just started gluing wrapping paper down. So this one is just a bunch of small pieces that I had, and I just kind of layered them up, and I can cut these into tags and pockets, little cards, and I hope to get more than one piece on each piece. So it would be collaged, and I think that will be fun. This, I just took blue cardstock and glued this. I actually believe that this is florist paper for wrapping up flowers. But I got this in a Happy Mail, and I had quite a bit of it, and I use it quite a bit. I really like it. But I can make tags and pockets out of that also. This could be a background. I just glued it to some cream colored cardstock. Can cut it out and then collage on it. This one, I just had a little piece of this red window pane check, and I thought that's a perfect background for something. So I filled in the rest of the space with the $20 bill wrapping paper, which I could just cut them out, and I've got a pocket right there. Then I had a little space left over here, so I added this little girl with her teddy bear that I'll cut out and turn into a little journaling card. This I glued to to a file folder. So I don't know what I'll make with it, but I could just cut it into tags. I think that would be fun. Here's one of my favorite pieces. I put it on pink. And this might be tags and pockets. But I like this one. And I put it on cream cardstock. And I didn't trim it off yet. I just rubbed glue stick all over it and then pressed that down. I used my brayer a lot to get all of these glued down. So these two I want to do something with in this video, this collage again, but instead of cutting these up into tags and pockets, I'm going to do something else with them. I want to show you some of what I did already, and that is these. I glued that wrapping paper onto yellow cardstock and then cut them into tags. These little pieces, I'm not sure what they'll be yet. Could be just an embellishment, could be a little card to tuck into a small pocket, and a pocket. And then I got out some things that I could use. I mean, these are bright colors, so you have to be careful of what you collage on top of them or add to them. You don't have to add anything. I could just put a label on it or something to write on and just let it be, and that would be really fun. It's got a lot of color and a lot of design in it. But I thought that I just got into my ephemera folders, binders, and pulled out some things that might look pretty. So I could do that or that. I could add this bird. I would back it with brown or something, or maybe a blue, so it would stand out better. I have these little girls that were on wrapping paper. Somebody sent them to me on a sheet and I cut them out. I have used them a few times, but that would obviously need something else behind her to help her stand out from that. And I love this one too on this tag. So there's all kinds of things I could use. This little piece would be fun with collaged with something else. So I haven't made a final determination of what I will do. And then of course I thought black and white because of all the color. And I do have other black and white pieces that I didn't get out, but something like that would be nice. So once I figure those out, I'll show them to you in another video. I also have these pieces that I cut from a small piece of paper that I had. So they were easy, just cut out the square, and then I had these little rectangles that were in between, and it says for your wedding. Well, I don't want it to say for your wedding, so I have these words, and these are from the Etsy shop called the Junk Journal Studio, And I have two sets. One is vertical everyday words, and the other one is horizontal everyday words. And I thought sometimes, first I bought the vertical ones just because sometimes you really want a word, something to go up and down in the space that you have. That's what you need, something vertical. So I got that, and then just today I went back and bought the horizontal ones because for the money, it's not that much money, and I think they're on sale right now, but I don't know when you'll see this video. You get a lot of pages. So you get them in 4 different sizes and in I don't know how many different colors. So this one is turquoise and this is the medium. And that is the tiny. And the tiny ones come with other things printed on the page. So you get that bonus. That's turquoise. And this is the large red border. So you get the idea. And these are all from Junk Journal Studio, and I only printed a fraction of the pages that are available. So anyway, I took one of those, small or medium ones, medium I think, and I trimmed the cream colored border off it, and it fits in there pretty nicely. And then I could also tip it this way, and I put the word flowers in there with the pink border. So I can put these on cardstock or just glue it to a page. This I cut out from one of the wallpapers, and I will put it on cardstock and just make a beautiful little tuck spot, corner tuck spot with it. I thought I could take some envelopes and just decorate the backs of them. So I cut that to size. I might use that. You could put a little piece of the wallpaper on the flap if you wanted to. Just trim that up and glue it there. So envelopes, decorate your envelopes. And I think that's all I want to say right now. So let's just get into it. So I did this on the video before I stopped it to roll my car windows up. This is that embossed wrapping paper, and it's sturdy enough that I could make a pocket out of it. And it's going to be glued down because it's still just paper, so I didn't want it to be a floating pocket, so this will be lost. But I just folded it up, and not all the way up, and then I glued another piece of wrapping paper to this piece, and then I glued the sides and added this embroidered trim, which I got at Hobby Lobby, to make this part sturdier, and rounded the corners. So when I glue that down, it will be a nice little pocket on your page. Guess I gotta put a little more glue on that. So that's one piece that's about done. Now, yeah, I talked about those. Okay, so now I want to talk about these. I brought my Big Shot in here with me today, and a bunch of dies, because I thought it would be fun to die cut some things, some shapes out of these pieces. I have to have it skinny enough that it'll fit on this plate to go through. So I need to trim it. I want to do this one first because it's got smaller pieces. So I thought that would be fun. So I need to trim it about 6 inches. That's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure. And that one fits. I'm just going to trim this off just so that I can lay it even, so it won't be crooked on my trimmer. Okay, let's have some fun and see what we can come up with. I brought in a lot of different dyes, but I wanted to try some flowers. I thought it would be fun, and I've never used this one. I got this. I don't remember. I think maybe this came in that Happy Mail from my friend who was giving away her journal supplies. Either that or I got it on sale at Hobby Lobby. I don't remember which. Doesn't have a Hobby Lobby sticker on it, so I think I got it in a Happy Mail. And look at all those fun flower shapes. So I'm going to take this one with the star pattern on it, and then this is wedding paper, but by the time it's cut, you probably wouldn't know that it is wedding paper. First time using them, you have to pull them off the really heavy-duty tape they put them on. There's a leaf. I think I can get them all on one sheet. Let's see how these look. I just put these thin little cardstock pieces in there as a shim. How fun is that? What happened here? Oh, okay, I thought I had 2 layers of it. Looks like it may have shifted a little bit, so it cut a little off the second time when I ran it back through. Let's see, this one came out very nicely. That shim helps the smaller intricate pieces cut better. And there's a hole in the center so you can stack them. So I would cut them out again with a different color, different pattern of wrapping paper, and then stack them and make fun little embellishments for my journals. That's really fun, right? So I might have to add a little glue to some where I didn't get the glue down. I tried to cover the entire cardstock piece with glue, but I missed some spots. These are really fun. I love them. I love these shapes of flowers. That is really fun. So this one goes down, this one has 2 different wallpapers on it, and I love that. And this one does too. Look at that. That's fun too. I might keep some of the negatives. Let's do well, I want to do more flowers, but I want to show you different shapes. Oh, we lost the leaf. There's the leaf. I guess we better do a different shape. I also have these little arrows. I love to use the arrows on the small spaces that are left. Okay, I've got some leaf shapes and a butterfly. I know I got this one in a Happy Mail, and I'm not really sure. I guess you cut this out of one color and cut this out of another color and like a black outline or something. Don't know if I want to use it on this right now. But I could do some of the leaves, and I could do a jar and a label. this one has a lot of different patterns on it. You get a big space and you're probably only going to get that pattern. So I have 3 pretty good size patterns, but they do overlap, so I will get some pieces that have more than one pattern on them. I'm going to put the jar so that I get, let's get 3 on there. I can put some arrows in this space. I can use washi tape to tape the pieces down so that they don't shift, but that would take a long time with all these pieces, so I'm not going to. We'll take our chances. It's a tiny little leaf. Labels. I want that to be on 2 different pieces. So I'll move it down and put that here. That was too thick. Put a skinny arrow in here. I got the grandkids, if you can hear stuff out in the living room. It's just Teddy and Layla. Put a banner here. Okay. It's like building a little puzzle. Now, does this all fit onto my mat? Because if anything is hanging off, like this might be hanging off, it's not going to cut. But it might be on there. And if not, it's okay. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, put the shims in. Okay, it pushed the cutting plate down. There we go. Let's see how we did. The arrow shifted a little bit, but that doesn't matter. So that's a pretty little arrow. A little tag. This doesn't even seem like wallpaper because it is matte. And now it is sturdy. Feels like cardstock. But it's so pretty. I love the vintage design. So it is vintage wallpaper on the cardstock. That one has 2 different wallpapers on it. This has 3 on it. I love it. There's a little label, a leaf. That one does have 2. It's got just a little bit of the one there. And a banner. and this little label or tag. And I could put something here, something small right there, so I don't waste that. So we've got lots of little pieces here. I want to use the jar again on this. And this is like a bread tag. I think that is so cool. I'm going to use that. And then I think up here, so it doesn't look bridal and baby, because there's the bride and groom and a little baby with a little toy train. I'll do the flowers up there so that you don't see all of those solid images. Where did I put the flower dies? Here they are. Let's see how these look. Oh, I didn't put the shim in. Let's hope it still cut okay. You see they're still stuck in the paper, but at least that one came out. But if I had put the shim in, they would have popped right out. It just gives it just enough more tension, but it came out. It's fine. There's the jar. There's the bread tag, which is really fun. This one I might have to cut. Oops. Well, now you can see what a difference the shim makes. And you wouldn't think so. I've run this through enough times that it's all shiny. These were just regular cardstock, and now they're just shiny because they've been run through that heavy pressure many times. Whoops, I cut the petal instead of the in-between. So this flower might not survive. I really wanted to see how it did with that bride and groom. Okay, I guess it's okay. I didn't cut all the way through the petal. Alright, it still has little bits in here that have to be cut out. But the paper came out. It's just a file folder that's still in there. And you cannot tell that that is a wedding paper with a bride and groom. This is the groom's leg right here. But you can't tell that. So that's really nice. A nice way to use paper that you don't really know how to use. So I'm going to struggle with these pieces up here. I think they were too close to the top, and they don't have as much pressure up there. So I'm going to try to cut them out because I think they're going to be cute. You might be able to tell that that's a teddy bear because his face is in the center part, but that's fine. I don't care. So that is a fun way to use wrapping paper. Did I do all 4 pieces? 1, 2, 3. Should have another piece. Oh, here it is. We've got time if the battery doesn't die because it is flashing. So I'm going to trim this so I don't put too many pieces on it that hang off and don't get cut. Let's do that. And I'll do another jar because I really like the jar. I can't get it. Oh yeah, I can do 3 right there. There's a little piece of the wedding paper over here too. I can put a heart on here. I also have just some shapes, label-y shapes. Okay, let's see what we get here. And let's not forget the shim. What I do when it gets out here is I kind of press down on the plate so that when it gets to the end it doesn't pop and make the pieces jump like that. It's at the end, so I don't care, but I wanted to run it back through and I didn't want the pieces to shift. And that's where using washi tape to tape them down would help. There's a little tag and there's a flower and a jar. You could do this with your scrapbook paper scraps. It would be fun to do it with ledger paper scraps, just all different kinds of ledger paper. Book pages. See, it came out very nicely because I used a shim. And a little arrow. What fun! Look how pretty that looks. All those papers together. Okay, so to recap, look at all these little pieces I cut out. And these are all made from just small pieces of wrapping paper that I glued to cardstock and file folders. And I have envelopes. You can use big ones or small ones. I didn't choose anything to decorate these yet, but I can decorate the backs of them with wrapping paper. I made myself a little pocket. And I have these pieces that I can cut out and just glue on a book page or embellish a tag. Make pockets out of some of them when I glue them to cardstock. This would be a fun pocket. This would be a fun little tuck, corner tuck. I got these pieces with the words and these pieces that I cut out and sewed around that I can embellish. So I guess I've got some finishing work to do on these, and hopefully in the next episode I will show you those completed ones. But before we go, I'm going to put all of these in here and stir them around and see what we're going to be doing in the next episode. And we have playing cards. I've got lots of playing cards. So I'll think of things to do with playing cards for the next episode, whenever that will be. So if you hadn't heard yet, I am taking a vacation. I'm not sure what day this video will be seen, but I'm taking a vacation. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to be home, but I have videos all made, and I think it's a series you will enjoy, called My Favorite Craft Supplies, and I broke it down into, I think, 8 categories, and I have 2 more videos to make yet before my vacation starts. So while I'm gone, you'll be able to watch, while I'm away from YouTube, you'll be able to watch videos of my favorite craft supplies. And then I will come back and we'll keep on making journals and doing other crafts. Thank you very, very much for your support of my channel. Tell me what you thought of these projects with wrapping paper, and are you going to try any of them? I think my favorite one is using the Big Shot and my dies and having so much fun doing that. I will see you in the next video, and I hope you have a creative day today. Bye-bye.